Do we do humor?
Yeah, come on.
Hello and welcome to a special Paranormal Versus. This is our Halloween one. Just want to welcome my wonderful co-host, Michael Kells.
Hello.
And tonight we have the beautiful Katherine Sorelos. Did I get that right this time, Katherine?
Yes, you did, hon.
Getting, learning. And we have Andy Decodes as
Hello.
our special guests. So we're here for 2 hours. Talking ears, so that should be fun. And so we're going to be talking about everything and anything. So anybody wants to put any questions for our panel, feel free to do so. So how is everybody anyway?
Good.
Great.
Good.
So what's it? Go on.
I was just going to say a point of housekeeping, because this is a 2-hour show. When we're used to doing an hour, maybe an hour and a half, at the 1 hour mark, we are going to do a little stretch so that we can keep going and have a little fun with, this episode. And this episode is for eTalk.tv, our network that we're on. It's their second Halloween marathon. And so we are grateful to be a part of that. And with that, all the housekeeping is done, and I will turn it back over to Kel.
Well, actually, I was just going to ask everybody what they've been doing recently, if they've been investigating or if they've had anything interesting happen.
Ladies first.
Oh, okay. I've been doing some remote investigating with one of my teammates in America, Candy Slater. We did one today at a jail, and her husband went into a trance, and we channeled some, the mother of the killer, and we had some information coming through, and it was awesome, like being 10,000 miles away and actually getting names coming through and actual evidence. Like, for instance, I was getting a name Elizabeth, and I kept on asking, who's Elizabeth? And it was apparently the fiance's, the brother's fiance that they killed, that was given the, they had to kill her first. So that was great evidence. So I'm doing things like that. I'm doing them remotely.
Wow.
Yeah,
That must be a little bit scary at the same time, like getting evidence like that.
It is, because it was early in the morning. Well, I was making coffee, and then Candy calls me at 8:30 in the morning. She's like, "Are you up for it?" And I'm like, "Oh, hang on, let me just wake up." So I was having coffee. I was making my coffee, and I'm like, "Okay, let's do this." And just like that, and boom, and the evidence just came through. She's got it on recording. She's going to be putting it up there, and it was justifying. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It is. It's good. It's good. At the beginning, it does get a bit like, oh my God, but then you get used to it after a while. Once you start, every time you get justified for something, it is good.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Wow. I'd love to have a gift that's strong. Must be amazing.
Yeah. We all have gifts. You have gifts like that. You just have to train it. You just have to believe in yourself that you can do it. You can actually see. Don't second question yourself ever. Like, if you're getting something, the first thing that you're getting, that is the right answer. If you overanalyze it, boom, you've lost it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I do understand that.
Yeah.
Andy?
Well, nothing yet, but I am going to Cannock Chase on Saturday. as long as there's no floods. So I've literally today been getting all my investigative gear together. Do you know what? If you give me a moment, I'll grab it, because it is like one box. That.
Come on.
Wow.
Okay, now you
So that's got the gas can for cooking, pair of fingerless gloves. All right. So head torch. Obviously, it's in the case. Need to charge that. And that. Oh, and everything else is in here. Just a little like messenger bag. So I've got dowsing rods, EMF meter, digital recorder, laser pointer, 3 torches, and that's pretty much it.
You know,
So,
I think you're missing one key thing there, Andy.
Oh, my phone and my iPad.
And a first aid kit.
Yeah.
No, I'll be fine. there's running water near where we're going and a pub, so it's all good.
Yeah. So what exactly are you going looking for?
Right. So we went about a month ago, and we did a lot. Got umbrellas as well. Did a lot of walking about. I think we did too much walking, looking to find something, and I kind of got annoyed with myself for doing that, because we didn't. No one said anything. I don't know if anyone else was bothered about it, but me personally, I thought when you do something, then you think about afterwards how could you have done it better. It was more, we should have just gone to one particular area, set up camp, and just sit and wait. So what I've also got, so the stand with the iPad that I'm using now, can't show you because it's all fitted. So on this stand, so it's like I was saying on Friday, it's a big music stand. Then it's got a mic. The top part is like this, a microphone stand. Then it's got a tablet holder in the top, so it just slots in and locks together. On that, I fitted the 2. I'll take one off to show you. So I've got 2 LED lights fitted on that, one either side. It's got a cold arm. So it's like what you fit onto a camera. You have hot and cold. The hot one is when it's like a flash and it sends power through it to make it work. A cold one where it's separate. You don't need the power from the camera to make it work. So I've got 2 of them on there. The other thing I've got is a parasol off a baby's buggy. I've not stolen that, I bought it. So that the arm clamps onto the arm. Just the way you come out, then it's only like I've robbed it off a baby's buggy. So the arm clamps onto it, you tighten it up, then it's got a stem, and then that just sits in the top. So if it's bad weather, I can open it up so it's above the equipment and nothing's going to get wet, rather than trying to carry an umbrella around, as well as do everything else at the same time. So, and that's it.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That's because the first time we went, we took so much equipment, 90% of it stayed in the car.
Yeah.
So, but I am going to be doing the dowsing rods and the pendulum.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for, Andy?
Yes, black-eyed kids. Well, we are and we're not.
Okay. All right.
I like how Katherine had all of our faces right there in that moment.
I knew what face she was going to do as soon as I said it. But the part that we're going to, it's near a place called Slitting Mill, and there's a lake, there's some woods, there's a couple of car parks and that. So we don't have to walk too far off the beaten track. So where we're going to go, it's like at the back of the pub, and there's, like I said, these woods, and you walk down to a lake, and there's a few other bits and pieces around there where we're going to go and like set up, because you're not allowed to wild camp in the UK. Don't know if any of you guys.
You're not allowed to. Yeah.
So we're not.
Well,
camping.
you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Well, technically, we're not camping. We are going to sit in like little fold-up chairs or find a rock and sit round. But what we're going to do is try a different way of drawing anything towards us. So we're going to sit and do like campfire tales. So we're just going to sit and chat and talk about our encounters, how we felt, and bring the emotion out of what was going on at the time. And hopefully drawing the emotion from them stories and them encounters could pick something up that's in the area. Now, this is a list that I've been given from what has been found or has been recorded around there. So these Bigfoot type creatures like wild men, dogmen, orbs, UFOs, black-eyed kids, spirits. The ones that I can remember, laughing, like kids laughing, but like disembodied voices, rumbling underground, a troll-like creature that kind of looked. One of the guys who's coming, Simon, he called it the Michael Jackson hamster. It kind of looks like a giant hamster, but looks like it's moonwalking at the same time. I'll send you the picture if you want to have a look. But it's back in the 70s. There's been reportings of what was known as a slitting mill troll, and it looks very similar to an illustrated drawing of that. So, yeah, and there's just all of the weird stuff going on, and that's all around where we're going to be placed.
Nice.
Yeah,
because you're drawing it in with your energy. You're actually manifesting it.
Yeah. So, like I said, rather than walking around, I suppose you are. When you go anywhere, you're walking around aimlessly, hoping that you're going to pick something or find something. But if we just sit and wait, and if we're just talking, having a laugh and doing our own thing, maybe they might pick up on that and be drawn towards what we're doing. In a positive way. I'm taking plenty of crystals. I'm going to do a protection spell before we go, as I always do. So,
good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, because you never know what you will encounter, especially around the forest. Like we've got lots of stories here. Being from Greece, we've got a lot of stories here with the fae people, and the nymphs and the fairies. We've got a lot of that. So.
Yeah. So yeah.
So Michael, what you been up to? What you got coming up?
I have been up to nonstop paranormal podcasting.
It's a surprise.
have a couple shows next week and an interview next week coming up, and taking part in a haunted house, volunteer acting there, and getting to use some of my skills to scare people. It's kind of fun. And the one that I love to use the most is I can make my body totally still and hold my breath as people are going by. So I always will hear them saying, "Is he real or not?" And then when they get far enough away, then I restart my breathing normal and start following them. And they're like, "Oh my God, he's following us."
Oh my God. And did you know the Madame Tussauds in Blackpool, I think it was?
Yes.
Well, they used to have like a haunted bit downstairs in there, and there was a guy that once like grabbed us, jumped out on us, like the way Michael's talking. And let's just say he got a little bit of a bop on the nose. If I got that much of a fright.
I'm guessing he was out cold.
No, I was
Not
a little bit more gentle on him. He's lucky.
Yeah.
No, we have a strict rule: you can't hit us.
But you can hit them.
Nope, we can't hit. We can touch gently, like on a shoulder or on an ankle, but only specific people can touch.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of teenagers running through there too, and it's like, yeah. We're like, no.
Not worth it, is it? No.
No. But Actually, on a funny note, Baby with a Laser has a question for Andy. He says, have you ever investigated Delamere Forest? Defo on par with Cannock Chase.
No, but I used to live not too far from Delamere when I was up in Manchester. And I used to go, when I couldn't sleep, especially at a weekend and in your teens or early 20s, and you're bored and there's nothing on TV, I'd just go for a drive. And a lot of the time, we'd actually go to like Delamere Forest, which is in Cheshire, south of Manchester. It's out near Manchester Airport. And you've got this Trafford Bowland as well, which is very similar. I can't remember that. That's kind of out that way. And we used to go driving through. There'd be like a couple of cars, and we'd go down and we'd get out, have a little walk about. But as soon as we heard something, straight back in the car, gone. We went because we didn't know who else were there and what have you. Because people used to go there back in the 90s to have like illegal raves and all that kind of stuff, go in the woods and the forest and what have you. So you didn't know who was about or where. So I've not been yet, but I have been. I went to Audley Edge, and there's a part of that you park up, and there's just a rock formation, and then it drops out. You can see right over Manchester and Cheshire. It's probably one of the only decent sites in that part of the country. And we'd gone there at night, and we walked into this field, and there was something in the grass. The grass was about knee height, so about 1.5 foot, 2 foot, and there's something big running towards us, and we ran straight back in the car. And we sat in the car, locked the doors, and we sat waiting. I can't believe I've only just remembered this, and we sat waiting, but nothing come out of the grass.
Wow.
So it was at least as big as a dog, whatever it was. It could have just been a badger or a fox, but it was running at us. And this was just before I started taxiing, so I reckon it was around about 2002, 2003.
Could have been a guardian of the area, because
I don't know what.
Spirits that are protection. We're like, no, we don't want Andy in here.
Well, there's quite a few of us. Yeah, but whatever it was running on 4 legs when you couldn't see it. It was pitch black, but you know when your eyes adjust and you can make out trees and grass and buildings and all that. It was a clear night, but so we, like I said, we jumped in the car and we were like, right, we'll sit and wait for a few minutes, and nothing come out. We eventually got a bit brave and put the windows down and thought, oh, we might hear something. It's like,
that sounds a little bit like one of our guests a few weeks ago. Colin, he had an experience like that where he heard something come towards him, but he couldn't see what it was.
Right.
Like, I can't remember if I could see the grass moving or not, but you could hear it running through the grass. It was one of those, where you can't in the moment, you don't really register everything that's going on around you. Just the main thing was something was running towards us, so we ran away back to the car, and that was it. That was it. I don't know why. No idea.
Yeah, I would have started the engine. I would have been off by then.
Yeah.
So I got a question for Katherine and Andy. Are you guys up for a little fun experiment?
Oh, yeah.
I'll say yeah. Then tell me, then I'll decide proper.
He was like, Andy was like, yeah.
Yeah, Andy's like, I don't trust these people anymore. I'm out.
And I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
He's just told us what he's going to be doing next week, so I'm a bit.
So the experiment is Katherine, when I tell her the stories of what I'm trying to make sense of, she is really good at piecing in key pieces and bringing a whole lot of clarity to a scenario. Yeah. And so, Andy, I know you have a couple of things where you keep saying, I'm still trying to understand this or what happened here. And so my experiment thought is share with us one of those, and let's see what Katherine picks up and if she can help you piece it.
Right. Shall I give you the scariest moment in my life ever? That I've only ever spoke about this once.
Let me feel it. Give it to me.
Right.
Yeah, this is Halloween episode. Go, let's go.
So I was round my mate's house. I used to live in Milton Keynes, which is north of London. It's about 20 miles south of where I'm living now. So it's on like the next town, next village over from where it's literally a 5-minute walk. So I've gone round. It was a Sunday evening, and sat right in the corner. You had red leather 3-piece suite. So I'm sat in the chair. Opposite side of the room is a door. In front of me that way was a TV. Then behind me was the door going out into the back and up like a window on that. So them two walls either side of me was solid, other than like I said, the door at the other end. So I'm sat there. They're gone out the room, and I went to get up, and I couldn't move. And all I could put it felt like a few years ago I'd gone to Cyprus on holiday, and you know, we have a few drinks and they say, do you want to be hypnotized? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So did that, and they was doing the whole show on that, and I couldn't, when he was doing the hypnosis thing, and this has got to do with the story because it's the same feeling that I felt when I was in the chair. So he had me dancing with this other guy, and he said, when the music stops, you're not going to be able to let go of each other. And we both stood there like, it's like, what's going on? And we just couldn't, we had no way of getting apart from each other. So when I'm sat in the chair, so I'm sat in it like him now, I went to get up, so my arms were on the arm of the chair, went to push myself up, and nothing would move. Couldn't move my arms, my leg, my head. I was shouting my mate. I was actually screaming at top note, and he couldn't hear me. And I'm stuck in this chair, and all I could think was, if I don't get out of this chair now, I'm going to die. That's how bad a feeling it was. I could feel my heart starting to race. I was sweating, but I just could not move. I was like, couldn't feel anything pinning me down or pulling me back. There's no pressure or oppression or anything like that. I suppose it's weight paralysis. The only thing that I could put to it, because I could move my eyes, I could shout. I think I was shouting, but I just physically could not move from head to toe, and it took about. It took about 2 minutes before I managed to free myself, and I ran out of the house.
All right. First question I'm going to ask: when you did that hypnosis in Cyprus, because they do put a thought intent in your mind, because I'm a clinical hypnotherapist as well. So did they cleanse? Did they clear that out after that? Did they? Okay, so they cancelled it.
They did the process at the end. That when you come round, you're going to be relaxed, and it's all going to be gone. And that lasted about 5 minutes of the guy doing that. So it wasn't a couple of sentences. It was done correct.
Okay, so it was done correct.
Yeah.
All right. Because sometimes people, a couple of hypnotherapists, they dodge it or they don't do it properly, and sometimes there's residual left. You know what I mean? So in your mind, in your subconscious, and something will trigger it off. And it will give you that wake paralysis like it did before when you were under the hypnosis word. But it doesn't seem that way. It seems to me that you actually went into a trance first time in your life.
Yeah.
And you must have been very, very relaxed at that point. And you just opened up and you went into a trance. And your body, your etheric body, you came out of your physical body. So you actually did how do I explain it? An astral travel while awake. Right.
Okay.
And being scared, you felt that your heart's going to stop, that you're going to die, that, I'm either going to move now or I'm dead. But you actually astral traveled. You actually were actual to... Okay, there's a lot of ways that we can astral travel. We can astral travel when we're sleeping. Everybody does that every night. We come out of our body, we astral travel subconsciously, we like it or not, we go everywhere. Okay. And then we
Yeah.
return in our body through our dream. That's why sometimes we feel in our dreams that we're falling off a cliff, or we wake up in the morning and the whole body hurts because we came back really, the wrong side around. There's a lot of things I can analyze on that. But I had a teacher that said to me, if you can sit on a chair,
Yeah.
cancel every noise around you, come out of your body and come in your body, you've actually mastered astral traveling.
Right.
And walk and actually walking. How do I explain it? Because there's a Greek word for it. You're actually walking not in your sleep. Not you're walking in between worlds, parallel worlds at that
Yes.
point. So that's what happened to you.
Right.
You actually you were so relaxed, you were fine, you felt comfortable in the environment you were in, so you actually were able to jump out of your body and jump back in. But you got so scared that jumping back in, like you were like, okay, I'm going to die, something's going to happen to me, my heart's going to stop. It wasn't going to stop.
Yeah.
So you jumped back in. How was your impact with your body when you jumped back in? Were you in any pain?
No, I was straight up and gone. I didn't even,
Okay.
just literally, as soon as I could move, I was up,
Yeah.
out the air and out the front door.
Yeah, no, that's all it was.
Andy's sitting there going, wait, let me make a written record of this while, this is going on.
But
Have you been back to that mate's place?
No.
Okay.
I think they've moved now. Good.
All
I'm
right.
glad.
It could have been a place. It could have been a spot where you just sat, that you were able to come out of your body. It could have been not a vortex, but a gateway for you to be able to get out of your body, jump out of your body, and jump back in.
Yes, possibly.
If all that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm not. This might sound the most stupid thing ever now, but it didn't feel like it'd come out my body.
Yeah, you never do.
Oh, right. Because I'm sat in the chair and I just felt like I was glued into the chair. That's how it felt.
Yeah, because your physical body becomes heavy. You can't move.
Right. Yeah.
So your etheric body, your subconscious, your etheric body is right there going, okay, all right, I'm feeling this and I'm feeling this. What's going on? Why do I feel separated? Right. Why can't I move? Why am I feeling my heart and I'm not feeling my heart? Why can't I move, but I can move?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why you can't believe that you came out of your body. If you would have let yourself go, you would have been able to actually walk around. You would have seen that it was actually your etheric body out there.
Right. Got you.
Another way to view it, Andy, that might make more sense is somebody flicked the off switch on you, so your body just turned off.
Stop. Yeah.
But you're off doing your thing, and then when you came back, it's like flicking the on switch, and so you're instantly back.
Right. Got you. Yeah. That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Oh, look at that. JoJo's pulling up
Wow.
YouTube address for Oracle Whispers.
She's quicker on yours than she's on mine. She's my mod. I'll be having words tomorrow.
We're going to have to try and steal her off you, Andy.
Well, I didn't want to say that she likes me better than you, Andy, but apparently
the right price. So I'm just checking the comments because I can't see them on here. So
neither can I, not all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not being ignorant. I'm just having a quick look as to what people are saying.
Well,
no, I'm popping up any that I feel like are questions. I'm popping them up from all over, wherever they're coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Right. Actually, Kel has one.
Yeah.
Ah.
Last week I was sitting in my daughter's when my son-in-law, my daughter, who are complete skeptics to anything to do with the paranormal, and my grandson, who's 3 years old, started telling me about his life when he was big before he was little again. That's his exact words. How he was a builder and he got drunk and he got really sick and died.
Yeah.
So we started asking him questions. We weren't like leading him into questions. We were just asking him like, so what did you do? Like, what was your job? And he was like, I had to build my own house. I built my own house and it was a big house and stuff like that. And it's like, he's never been exposed to people like talking about alcohol or builders or anything else like that. And then all of a sudden, and he went, he got drunk because the strangers took his children away. So led into the questions about, well, why did they take your children away? He says, because my wife wanted to, asked them to take them away. So
Okay.
we were like, okay, right, okay. And so what did your wife do? And he went, my wife was a nurse. So we've got, my daughter said to him, so whereabouts was your house? And he says, my house was a very, very long time ago, Mummy. And so we were like a little bit confused, like, okay, either this child's got an amazing like imagination or this is like a past life thing. So he was like even acting out, going, strangers, you can't take my children. So we're asking how many children he had. He said he had 10 children. And then we're asking him questions like, so what was your name? And he says, my name was this name, what I've got now, Theodore Flatley. But well, his name's not Flatley, but it's Theodore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he said Theodore Flatley. So we're trying to figure out whether he's remembering a past life or whether he's just got an amazing imagination, which he's never came out with anything like that before. So
This is a past life,
like
Kel. This is a past life. And this is a past life in World War II.
right?
Okay. Or World War One. Because I can actually see his wife in front of me being a nurse and having the white hat with the Red Cross, because she was a nurse for the Red Cross. And I can see her hair, like they had them in the 1920s or 40s, you know, like that kind of era.
Yeah.
And it was in the war. So if you talk to him and ask him about the war, if he remembers the war, he'll let you know.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing apart from that he said is that he went up on some ladders and fell off because he was very fat.
That's what. No, he fell off. He was drunk and he fell to his death.
Yeah.
And because he was miserable.
That's why
So
he was sort of like saying to her that he was very, very upset because his children had been taken. So just we found it really strange.
Yeah, no, his children might have been taken because his wife might have wanted to, you know, give away her kids or couldn't look after them, or she had to go to war. He was incapable of looking after his kids. So yeah, this is going back in the 1900s, like 1920s, 1930s. It looks to me if it's either World War One or World War Two, because I can hear the bombing. I can see all that right in front of me, and I can see her with a little cape and her little hat. She was a bit of a bitch. His wife. So see, he's the softie that he is right now. So he does want to now. He'll watch when he grows. He would want to have a big family. He would want to have children. He would need to close that cycle.
Yeah.
Because he was incapable of raising the kids, and she wasn't a capable mother.
Yeah.
So if you do ask him, he will draw for you. He will continue the story. If you do pop out questions like about the war, he'll tell you about the war. He'll tell you about all that. Yep.
Oh, I'll definitely do that then. But that was a part of the thing I was going to ask is what do you actually think about past lives and stuff like that?
I do past life regressions. Being a clinical hypnotherapist, I do past life regressions, and out there in this world, our bones are sitting there from another body.
Wow.
Or other bodies. So yeah, it's in our DNA. Everything is written in our DNA. So our
Yeah.
DNA is somewhere out there buried.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I do believe in past life.
Yeah. What about you, Andy?
What? Do
you
I
believe-
believe in past life?
Yeah.
I never used to, but since I've been doing this, there just seems to be too much evidence for it not to exist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's like I just couldn't get my head around how can you be alive and then die and then come back to life again? I know, not same person, but like the energy form. But now, like I said, through doing this for so long, you're picking up what everyone's saying. Maybe you don't believe every single word that everyone's saying, or you can't get your head around the specifics of it, but you get bits of what everyone said and you put it together, and it's pretty much everyone's coming up with the same idea or the same theory. So there's got to be something in it. There can't not be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do believe in it.
Yeah. I definitely believe in it because I've been regressed once, and like I say, my story was published in a magazine, so I definitely believe in past lives and stuff like that. But for my grandson, nothing's ever been mentioned about anything like that in front of him. So for him to come out with something like that, and especially his parents being skeptical, even they were like thinking, "Hang on a minute, what's going on?"
What's he talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I've actually done regression on people being in Australia, and here being like abducted by aliens, and I've done regression
Wow.
in this life, and some of the evidence, which I can't share, I'm sorry, but yeah, some, it's you can't. It's like a doctor's thing. You can't share some of the evidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can't like names and things like that. But I can share that actually, people have been abducted and people have been experimented upon.
Wow.
So yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So, Baby with a Laser now has a question for you, Katherine. I was once chased out of a cellar by an unseen entity. There is something interesting about it. What can you pick up?
Was once chased out. Hang on, by an unseen. Something. Okay. Let me think about it, baby. Because there wasn't just one one entity down in that cellar. There were a couple, and it was like one of them wanted you to be down there, like to play and interact, and the other one just wanted you out. It was like, get out. This is my place, my home, my space. While the other one wanted you to be there. It was like something was calling you to be down there, and the other thing was just chasing you to come out of there, if that makes sense. She'll answer soon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She says,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
Let's see.
Sorry, I was going to say I've got another thing that I've never told anyone about other than the person that I was living with at the house at the time. So if I give you this without with virtually no detail, can I see what you pick up from it?
Yep.
Right. So I got into the bathroom. I think I was having a bath, not a shower, because I put the tap on, obviously, and when it steams up the mirror and the window, they get steamed up as well. So I've gone in to turn the taps off, and on the cabinet mirror on the wall, traffic. I don't think I had a window in that bathroom. I can't remember. It was years ago. But on the actual mirror, somebody had wrote "Buddy," yet no one else had been up in the bathroom while I was doing. Because I'd gone to the bathroom, bedroom, then back to the bathroom, as you would. And then "Buddy" was written in the window with like a finger.
B-O-B-I, like body, as in like body.
Oh, Buddy. B-U-D-D-Y, as in friend.
Oh, buddy. Okay. That doesn't come out as a friend. It comes out as a name.
Okay.
Okay. As in like buddy, as in like it's coming out as a name. But also it's a message. Were there any activities happening in that house?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Just a few hundred, but
Yeah, so there were some activities. Was there a murder in that house, Andy?
not sure about that house.
Okay, because what it's saying that okay, it's coming up as a name, but also what I'm getting, minus the name, it wanted to give you a name. It's like it wanted to give you the name of the friend that committed the murder. There was a murder.
Right.
That was his buddy.
Right. Oh, well, that's kind of freaky because I've got goosebumps now. So, at the time, there's one of my friends. He used to call me Buddy, but he committed suicide a couple
He used
of
to
weeks
be called
before.
Buddy.
No, he was called Ben.
Okay, I didn't quite
But
hear
he
you.
used to call me Buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he never say Andy. He'd always go, "You okay, buddy?" And always say Buddy. So that's where I kind of get that was the name, because that was the name that he used to give me. But when you said about the murder, it kind of, I know you still technically you're murdering yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
If you commit suicide, so
he committed suicide. They drove him to commit suicide. They made him commit suicide.
right. That
so
makes
it was
sense.
like a murder. So he was reaching out to you, calling you buddy. That's why I said it comes across as a name.
Yeah.
But not a name. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
As in like
that's,
buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy, my friend.
Nickname. Yeah.
Yeah, because he used to call you. There you go. He used to call you buddy as a name, and then buddy as in like buddy, a person, a friend that he considered a buddy, drove him to what happened to him to commit murder, to commit suicide. Sorry.
Yeah. So, sorry, I went a bit deep and dark with that, but
That's okay.
I've never spoke to anyone about it before, because even though it's been quite a while, it still feels quite raw and tender, if you know what I mean.
Fresh, yeah.
It's not the sort of thing that I go talking about a lot, and that's why I've never really mentioned it before now.
Yeah, so no, that was him. That was like I said, his name was Ben, but there was a Michael in the gang or his friends. Michael, somebody with a name like that he interacted, that knows about the truth why he committed suicide.
Not me.
No. I don't want to give too much away because I don't want people to find out who this person actually is.
So that's why I'll stop there.
I can say, from what I can remember, his dad was called Michael, and his dad did the same thing roughly around that same time of year as well.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yes. Ooh.
Michael, can you put up I was just about to ask you to put that one up. This is my friend Trish. She was asking anybody if they can pick anything up from this.
Sometimes I hear two men chatting at a certain place in my house near the loft hatch, but only now and again. I feel like it's a time when I feel more stressed than normal. I can't make out why they are saying, as it sounds muffled, but they get slightly louder when I stand near the loft hatch. What could it be, and why do I hear it? It's definitely not outside or TV, as have checked out the windows and around the house.
Okay, all right. Living in the homes that we live, right? Before, say, it's been modernly, built. It could have been something else. It could have been another house, or the loft could have been a bedroom, or it could have been a kitchen. Everybody that goes through a house, even you, me, and being still alive, we all live leave our residual energy there. We leave our imprints. This what she's picking up is two men that used to be there, and she's picking up their chatter, she's picking up their argument, she's picking up their energy, the residual energy. Trish being a sensitive and an empath and coming into her gifts right now, that's why she's so open. That's why she's so overwhelmed, because she's just opening up her gifts. She's acknowledging her gifts at the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's why she can hear them. So she should experiment with herself and go to another place or go to a haunted location and sit at a quiet place and listen to what's going on. Put her hands against the wall, feel the energy, and absorb. She absorbs like a sponge at the moment because she's coming into her gifts.
Cool. Well, I've been trying to drag her out on investigations, but also she'll probably come to the next one, so I'll get her to sit there and she can pick up.
Good.
Throw a few experiments there as well.
So Jojo has a question for Katherine, but I'm actually going to tweak it for all of us because I think it's a good question.
Yeah.
It says, Katherine, do you believe we can see animal spirits?
Yes, most definitely. And you can feel them, and you can hear them, and you can feel their touch. And of course, if we can see all spirits, energy is energy. Energy never dies. And we can see animal spirits as our guardians or our totems, not just animal spirits, like if we lose a dog or a cat or, our pet, but animal spirits, actual animal spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen two outlines of what were the border collies running around my old sitting room when I used to live in my really old house. So it wasn't just me that seen it, it was the next partner seeing them run around the sitting room. And then in that same house, my puppy died. She was 18 weeks old. And then a few nights later, we could still hear her footsteps running through the house. But also when I used to drive up to that house, because I used to finish work about 5 o'clock in the morning, and there was one night I was driving back with a friend who was staying at mine, and we both seen like legs of animals, like looked like deer or some sort of cattle or something like that walking across the road, but we could actually see through them. So we're thinking, well, that's a bit weird, like seeing a herd of cattle and that walk across the road when there was obviously nothing there. So
you're seeing the residual energy that was left, that was imprinted on that road. From that, it could have been cattle that went through there 50 years ago, 100 years ago. Yeah.
Well, it all used to be farmland back, quite a while ago. So it's now part of the A1. So
yeah, there's your answer.
Andy, do you have opinion?
Yes, I know you do, because where I grew up at my parents' house, I'd moved out, and in my teens, my mum got me a dog. It was crossed between a Labrador and a Jack Russell. I don't know how that's possible. So it was like mid-height black lab. So I'd been out drinking. I was in like 20s, 30s, gone out drinking, but where we'd gone drinking was nearer to my mum's and my home. So I'd gone back to my mum's for the night. I thought I'll go back tomorrow when I'm not as tipsy, shall we say. So I'd gone to sleep. I'd slept in the spare room, which is my old bedroom. So I got into bed, pulled the covers over me, I'm laying there, and then so the dog was called Sabre, and I'm laying in bed, and the room starts spinning a little bit when you lie down. It's like, I just want to go to sleep. And I'd say within about a minute, I heard a dog panting and walking up and down the bed. Could feel like him brushing against the bed. I'm like, oh my God, I really don't need this now. And then he jumped on the bed where my feet were. I'm like, you don't know what to do. This has never happened before. And what he used to do, he used to walk round in a circle 3 times and then drop down. And he did that, and I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, I sobered up like that, I'm telling you. And I just lay there. I wanted to look, but I was too scared to look in case it wasn't him. But he did what he used to do, because he'd always sleep at the bottom of the bed. So whenever I slept there, he'd come up and he'd walk up and down a couple of times, jump on the bed, walk around 3 times and drop.
Yeah.
And my heart's like, yeah. So I know, I've experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he was buried at the bottom of the garden.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I can say pet wise, yes, I've had all the same that you guys have had, hearing their paws running on the floors. But I've also had an experience I don't share very often where I was on a camping trip and I went up the side of a mountain, saw some wolves. Now, I don't know if they were spirit wolves or actually there, but in the experience, the mom's there with cubs, and then all of a sudden I see a black wolf, like the alpha, and he comes charging me, leaps up towards me, like he's actually going to like attack me. And next thing I know, I'm getting up and there's no wolves around, and I have no cut marks or no attack marks on me. And I'm like, I think the wolf is in me, because all of a sudden I could start to hear better, see better.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I would definitely say animal spirits, whether domestic or wild, are definitely out there. And if you're in tune, you'll see them.
Yeah.
Hmm. What a cool thing, though. Like, obviously, a wolf. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skinwalker.
Yeah. So, Katherine Baby said, "You are spot on. I'm a musician. There was a recording studio in the cellar, and I had been playing. I feel it was a servant who chased me out. The spirit of someone famous appeared there."
There you go. So that's why there were 2 spirits. Thank you for justifying that for me, baby.
That's interesting.
Very.
And Jojo has another question for you, Katherine. Can you tell me if there are spirits in a home, i.e., mine?
Oh, yes, you do have. You definitely have spirits, Jojo. And not just one. There's about 3 or 4. It's like a family. There's a child. I'm picking up like a little child, a little boy. And I'm picking up 2 women and 1 man. But they're not they're not bad spirits, they're not evil spirits, like evil human spirits. They're actually like, they're okay. They might get to a bit of mischief, but that's about it. Like any other, I'm not picking up that they're like causing a lot of issues in them. Don't mind the curtain. There's a window behind the curtain. So
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
yeah, no, there's a mirror. There's a window behind the curtain. Oh God.
No, but Katherine, I have an interesting question for you.
Mm-hmm.
From my own personal experiences. In my old house, I used to have an area in the house where I felt like there were 2 portals and spirits were constantly traveling back and forth through them. I nicknamed it Times Square, the active hub.
Yeah.
Is it wise to leave those in your home, or is it better to shut those down when you find them?
For me, it's good to shut them down. because it's like a parade. Your house was like a parade. It wasn't just the square, you know, it was a parade. They were going back in and out, in and out, in and out. So, and the more you leave them, the more stronger those vortexes, those gateways become, and more active they become. So, to my opinion, it is best to close them up.
Okay.
And
I was
leaving them
taking the opinion you're not harming me, you're not doing anything destructive, so I'll let you be as long as you're letting me be.
Yeah, in your case, it could have been like that, but there's other cases, hun, where they're not like that, and you never know what might come through. Now, angels or psycho bombs, that's what we call them. They're the ones that come down to pick up the souls of the dead when they die. They open up gateways, or they open up vortexes to pick up for the soul to go past anywhere. They don't care where they open them. And how you feel a vortex or a gateway for the soul to go up into, you know, for the psycho bombs to pick up the soul to take it up. You would walk past a spot and you feel like you're levitating. Now that is a spot where everything's open. There's a vortex there. And usually they, like I said, the psycho bombs or angels, whatever you want to call them, they open them up so the souls, it's a passageway for the souls to go to where they're supposed to go. But they close them up after a while. Sometimes they stay open. Or sometimes there might be a vortex or a gateway or a gate that's been forgotten, or somebody human has opened it up. So yeah, it's best to, if they are forgotten or if somebody on purposely opened it up, it is best to close it.
Yeah.
And the way you close a gate is by grabbing black obsidian or black tourmaline or black tektite, red jasper, and clear quartz, and you pair those three together. So your black stones are grounding you. Red is making like imagine a seal, a golden seal around, so nothing can come in, nothing can come out. And the clear quartz amplifies all that. So pairing all those three together and putting it where you feel that the vortex is, boom, you've closed the hole. You've closed it up.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because that's helpful for, you know, people like Andy, Kel, and I who go to places, and when we find these, we know
How to close them up.
how to close them up.
I always have obsidian and clear quartz in my car. I've got
Yeah.
2 clear quartz
Yeah.
and 1 obsidian, and they sit in the little cup holder right in the middle, so it's in the center of the car as possible. And they've been in there for at least 4 years now.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
best to cleanse them though, because they absorb, especially the clear quartz absorbs everything. But don't forget, guys, clear quartz is an amplifier and amplifies everything. So if you want to put a protection oil in your home, and like I burned some protection oil in the house, right? With my incense burner and I usually put a clear quartz right in front, so it amplifies it. So clear quartz is an amplifier.
Yes.
I got a quick question before we go on our hour break for a moment. I just was thinking about this. Selenite is used to clear stones and clear everything. Does it clear us as well?
Oh yes, most definitely. When you come back from an investigation, you have your selenite. I mean, I've got big rods like that. And when you get home, you never wet, you never put it underwater. It auto cleans itself like obsidian does, because it's a gypsum stone. So you don't do, it's a gypsum mineral, so you do not wet it because it becomes like nothing, like dust.
Yeah.
moon dust. So what you do is like you start from the top to the bottom and go all the way around to your front, to every part of your body, and then you cleanse it.
There.
And yep, that's it.
Wow. Mhm.
Yeah.
And when you come back from an investigation, guys, always before, well, what I do is I jump into the shower, I get some salt. If I don't want to take a bath and fill it up, I grab some salt and put it all over, Epsom salt or normal sea salt, I put it all over my body. And then I put some drops of camphor oil, essential oil, on my sponge, because camphor oil cleanses everything. So, and I have a shower like that, and then I do my selenite, and boom, you're ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But the only thing with that as well, you need to be careful if you get a big block, because you can get little splinters off it, like
Yes.
little glass splinters.
Yeah.
Do try and hold it at the base. I know through experience.
Yeah,
That's why
stand up.
bits of that light stand out the way.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
And if
so
you really
we're-
want to protect your home, if you really want to protect your home, grab some selenite, break it up, make it into small little tiny like pieces like that, put it in your paint, and paint your home.
Wow. Never thought
I
that.
never thought
Yeah.
about that.
There you go.
But
I've
as
done
well,
it.
you want to be buying it now while the price is low, because it is
Yes.
starting to go up.
Yeah.
So that one cost me the equivalent to $10, and I bought that
Yeah.
about 6 months ago. I think if you buy that now, it's going to probably nearer 20 to 25
Yeah.
for that piece. So, yeah.
Well, everyone, we have successfully made it through our first hour. So, are we wanting to take a moment and stretch? Because I know sitting for a long time.
I think Michael should do a 2-minute yoga size while we all have a break.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
Come on,
wants to
Michael.
see me doing a standing tree for 2 minutes.
Downward facing dog, Michael.
People pay that. People will pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a whole different channel.
Yeah, so does anyone have any music or anything they want to play during this? Because we don't have any intermission videos. We're not geared up for intermissions, usually.
Well, you probably, when I get up, you'll probably hear my back crack. So that might help.
I can play my break music if I just put my phone next to the computer, and
well, there you go.
It's generic music. It's off YouTube, so it should be good.
Okay.
So let me give me a moment to find it, because there we go. So, do you want 3 minutes, 2 minutes, or 1 minute?
What do you think, Cal?
Just 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Yeah.
Gives us a chance to run around my kitchen so I can straighten me back at least.
Right.
Make sure you leave your camera on, because that sounds like a fun visual.
But no, my camera's gone off. I don't want to scare everybody.
Right. I'm gonna have to shut down YouTube on my phone, otherwise you're gonna get that as well. So there we go. Right. So cameras off, music on. Yeah.
Right. We'll be back in 2 minutes, everyone.
We'll be back in 2.
See you in 2. Okay. I think I'm the only one back.
Nope, I'm back.
Oh,
I mean-
that's good. I got a bit panicky there for a moment. They'd run out of music and there's nobody else there. I do have.
Go on.
Sorry. I'm going to say I do have another question for Katherine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's from the first time, well, the last time that we went to Cannock Chase. Yeah. And I just poured myself a quick drink because I couldn't do it because I was holding my phone up to the computer to play that. And I've not had a chance to do it yet. So went to Cannock Chase. There was 5 of us to start with.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys had to go home because he wasn't feeling too well. We ended up staying, so we slept in the vehicles overnight.
Mm-hmm.
There was only 2 vehicles, mine and my mate's van. Now, 2 of us slept in mine, 2 of us slept in his. It was parked side by side. So there's a few people driving into the car park, parked up for a bit, then going out, and nothing dodgy, by the way. May add that. And so we all fell asleep. I think last time I looked at the clock, it was about 2:30, maybe. I can't remember the exact time. But mate in the van and the other guy that was with him, he had a big like CB aerial on it. So his van is, I'd say it's at least 6 foot high. Then the aerial is another. He might put it in the chat if he's still listening. I think the aerial's 8 foot. So the top of the aerial, you're looking at 14 foot. Now, something had twanged into it 3 times throughout the early hours. 2 of them were quite close together. I think there's about half an hour apart. Then the third one was about 2 hours after. So he was asking me, do you think it could... Well, we was debating whether it could be a bat or a bird or anything like that, or an owl. Because I know owls are silent flyers, aren't they? You don't hear an owl. But I think if it's a bat, they use sonar, so they're not going to bang into it anyway. And bats in the UK are only little, so if it got in, it wouldn't twang it. It's like somebody's grabbed it, pulled it back, and let go.
No.
Can you pick 5 foot from the top of the van? There we go. So can you pick up anything on that?
It definitely wasn't an owl, and it definitely wasn't a bat. And it was definitely a spirit. Was it a forest nearby?
Yes. So as well, where we was parked, there was a good 4 foot between the back of the vehicle and the start of it's like the grass started to go up. It's like a mound and it's 4 foot. So if there's anything stood on there, he'd have to have like arms like Mr. Tickle just to reach the van, let alone the aerial, because the aerial was bang in the middle of the van. For any human to touch it, they'd have to climb up. You'll like put your foot in the wheel arch, lean over and grab it that way. You couldn't just stand up unless you're like 12 foot tall.
Yeah. No, that was definitely a forest spirit.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That's good.
That was a forest spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, and it was tall. It was like 7 feet tall.
Yeah. Why would they do that? To get our attention?
To get your attention, to scare you off, to get your attention, to tell you, we are the boss here. You know, this is our area, not yours.
Right. Could you describe what this forest spirit thing would look like?
It blends very well with the trees.
Yeah.
And the rocks of the area that you guys were in, because I can see rocks and I can see trees as well. So it's coming up as it blends very well. So and it comes across as a male energy. It's like a male spirit, a male forest spirit. So yeah.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not visible in the human eye. You can actually get the outline of it with some infrared lights.
Yes. Right. Okay. That's very interesting. That.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it made a lot of, I don't know if it made noise with not just with pulling the antenna, but jumping on the car, because I can feel that it had like feet, like hoofs instead of normal feet or big feet. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It's not demonic, like because I'm saying hoofs. It's not demonic. But it's the actual spirit of the forest. There's a lot of spirits in the forest, forest spirits, and it looks like it was half human, like half human, half animal. And you can see the outline of it, and it was very, very tall. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
No, I
welcome.
appreciate. Yeah, because it's been bugging. I think it's been bugging us since it happened. It's just the not knowing of what it could have been. Because we
Was
were
there a
like,
loud noise? Was there a loud noise, Andy? Or was it just
well,
the antenna being pulled?
I didn't hear it because I was in my car and this was
Yeah.
Simon's van. So he and the other guy heard it. I don't know if I think Simon heard it all 3 times. The other guy, I think he only heard 2 of them. But me and Wazza was in my car. We left the windows open a touch, just stop it all steaming up and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't wake either of us. We woke up at about 5, 6 o'clock the next morning, and we'd not heard anything. But Simon just said it didn't make a sound at all, so he didn't hear anything climbing on the top of the
On
van.
the car. Okay, so it could have just whooshed through, pulled it, and made that noise.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was definitely a forest spirit. But it's coming across as something big. Like if you look at it standing up, it is
Yeah.
tall.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So it could have been tall coming up to the antenna. That's why I didn't have to just go like that.
Yeah.
So, Catherine, I actually have a very special question for you from my mom. She has been feeling my dad around recently, sometimes, not a lot, but like in his chair. She'll feel him so much she'll start to talk to him. And he passed 4 months ago yesterday. So she's wondering, is that him, and 2, how is he doing, and did we do everything right that we could have?
He's still there. That's definitely dad. It's no other spirit. It is your dad, and he's definitely there sitting on. Is it a leather couch that your mom has?
We do have a leather couch in there.
Not the leather couch where the leather. Is he sitting on a leather? Is it like a leather recliner that he used to sit on, or
It
his
is.
own recliner? Yep, because I can see him going back like that, and on the recliner, and he's holding. I don't know if he liked to do crosswords. Did he used to? Because I'm still seeing him holding a book, either reading or doing crosswords on there.
He had a Kindle device and he would play games on it.
Yeah, because I can see he's doing something like that right in front of me. It is definitely him. He's there, and he's actually he used to joke a lot when he was alive. Like joke about. It was like, how do I explain the jokes? It was like he will joke, like he'll say something, and then it was like, okay, how do I explain it? He wasn't much of a joker, but if he did say a joke, it would make you laugh. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so he's joking about the clothes that you put him in. He didn't like them, but he's joking about it. He's actually laughing. And the shoes. He's saying the shoes were a bit tight. He doesn't like the shoes that you guys put him on.
Okay, yeah. We had that conversation.
Yep. So, yeah, so that's what, but he's joking. He's fine. He comes and goes. And tell Mum that he's definitely going to be there until for a very long time. He's not stuck. He's not stuck. He's coming and going, and he'll keep on coming and going until for many, many years until Mum's ready to go when she's ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So he'll definitely wait for her.
Okay. And is there anything he wants her to know or anything going on right now she needs to be aware of?
Did Dad go fishing?
We used to when I was younger. We would go fishing, but not lately.
Yeah, because it's something that he liked. Fishing is something that he liked, and walks. He's just told Mum that what he's telling her is that she shouldn't be stuck at home. He wants her to do things. He wants her to be active. Is she getting a bit depressed? Is she staying home more than what she's supposed to?
We have been more homebound than usual. Just
Yeah. He doesn't want that, guys. He wants you to go out. I know it's hard. I've been in your spot, Michael, twice with my parents because I've lost my parents very young. Dad was 62 and Mum was 58. And he doesn't want to see you miserable. He wants you to be out there. He wants you to be doing things, to be active. He wants you to do things, do your paranormal things that you always love. He wants you to do things that you loved. And he wants Mum to start interacting with friends and family. He wants her out of the house. She's stuck at home. He doesn't want to see her like that.
okay. And last question is, I'm curious because we had a family friend actually over yesterday that planted something for him, and so I'm curious if he's seen it yet or his thoughts on it.
Why am I seeing two things that have been planted, not just one?
There was more than one thing planted.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. And he's showing me, and something comes out like with white flowers. Which one is the one that blooms in white flowers?
I'm not sure because we planted some pansies, weird looking plant, and then she's gave us a yellow plant. So I'm not sure if we do have the white flowers in our garden.
Okay, so he's showing me white flowers, and he's showing me another plant that is fruitful, or there's fruit, or not nuts, but like fruit.
We did have tomato plants.
Okay, and you guys need to start taking care of them, he's saying.
Actually, she just cut them all back for the winter.
Okay, good. So yeah, he's happy with that. He's happy with that. So yeah, definitely, he likes his garden. He liked his garden. So yeah, that's what he's saying. Like, take care of the garden. And yeah, he has seen all the plants that you guys have put in there, and it symbolizes a lot to him.
Okay.
I've actually got a question for all you guys. I was wondering what your thoughts are on catching spirit on like video chat. Have any of you been on video chat and seen things in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I'm saying for is because going back to Matt's question there, basically there's been twice when I've been on, well actually it's been all 3 times when I've been on video call. The first time we're on video call, he took a screenshot of me, and then I basically zoomed into it, and you could see me dad standing looking through the window, like outwards from this side, looking outwards, and you could tell it was my dad straight away. My dad's been passed away for about 2 years now. So you can see it on obviously the screenshot, that's definitely him. I've showed it to family members and they're like, oh my God, that is definitely him.
Is that yeah?
Sorry, Catherine?
Sorry. Is that the one that you're talking about with the cap, or is that something different?
This is one of the. There's been 3 times when we've seen something on video chat. Obviously you know about the other one, about his ex-partner who died. We're both seen her at the same time. And then the 3rd time, it was about a week or 2 ago, might be just over a week ago. He went video chat again, and he was in his house, and behind him I see a man in a flat cap, but he had like coveralls, like overalls, but they were like a brown colour. It was just a split second seeing him go into the bedroom, and he went to have a look, nobody there. But we just think it's really weird how it's always when we're on video call that we're capturing these sort of things. Has anybody else had anything like that happening?
No. No, I don't video call. As you guys know, I just leave voice notes for everyone. It's just easier. But I don't really video. The only time I video is when I'm doing YouTube. Don't video chat anyone, to be honest with you.
Right.
So no. Sorry.
No, I can't say I've ever noticed anything different on video.
Well, what I'll do is I'll share with you later on the actual screenshot that with my dad, just to show you. Like, obviously, you can definitely see me stand there. I'll show you that one. But what's your thoughts on it? Or what, Catherine? Why we're only seeing things like this on video call? Do you think?
No. I've seen on video, like what's her name? You know, the guy that you went with, Michael, at New Orleans. What's his name? The guy that did the New Orleans thing.
Howard Petrie.
Howard. Yep. I was on a video chat doing a live like that, and his daughter walked past.
Wow.
So and I saw it and described everything to him. It's actually on video, on one of the videos. And he can justify that for you. So yeah, I've caught him, things like that behind a person. You guys are definitely clean at the moment. There's nothing behind you.
Good.
Thank
I don't
God.
know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Hey?
I said, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, it's okay. It's okay. They don't always make their appearance when we want them to. They will come when they feel like they're doing something. Now, definitely, Kel, now that house that Matt's staying, is it an old home? Is it his home? Or is it something he's renting out?
He's just renting it, but it's right near some really old mansions, big mansions in Cheltenham.
Yeah,
so it's quite a new house. I think it was built in the 1950s, 1960s.
Because he comes across the man that I'm seeing, the match you guys are describing is an old farmer in that place. So it could have been, before that house was built on that land, it could have been a farm. So the man is definitely going past, doing his business. That's repeating, like a cold case. It's a cold case. It's like repeating itself. It's like a repeat in a time span of actually doing that over and over again. He's waking up in the morning, he goes past there, he grabs his cattle, he goes back home. So that could have been a road where he took. So it doesn't matter if they're going through if you've got a house there, they're definitely he's doing the same thing. He's repeating the same motion that he's done all his life. Bear with me a second. I'm just gonna be off the camera because my phone is dying, and I'll get my charger. Give me 1 sec. Thanks.
Okay.
Anyway, it was weird that Catherine should say that, because I actually did say to Matt at the time that I was picking up that he was some sort of gardener. So that does sort of make sense, working on the land. So interesting.
And how cool was that transition from my story of gardening to yours?
Yeah, like I say, I mean, it always seems to be when video call that we see something. And I mean,
Now,
just lucky that we caught me dad that one time because it wasn't a screenshot of the recording. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen him because you couldn't see him actually stand there. You could just see his reflection in the window.
yeah,
So-
now I have something that happened during a podcast show that'll drive Andy you nuts, and Kel you'll find interesting. Is a gentleman had a black screen like here behind him, and all of a suddenly a white dot appears here and starts going like this, and then goes over, and it's like
Wow.
we were like, that can't be a bug because it appeared in the middle of the black. It didn't come in to the screen.
Yeah.
And it was moving diagonal and then went straight across. And I was like, we were like, did you see that? I saw that. Wait a minute. What was that?
Yeah. Matt just said there it's a 1950s bungalow built on old manor grounds, and he wants to know if it's the same spirit that touched me because I think it was
It was.
4 months ago I was touched on the leg when I was there and I completely
Yeah, that's
freaked
him.
out.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
And I was just gonna really quickly say, Summer, we're not actually doing readings, but if you have a question, feel free to ask a question. But we're not doing like a
No.
reading.
No. I had an EVP doing a live stream once.
Uh-huh.
So I had Nathaniel Gillis come on, and I was asking him, does he believe that there's life elsewhere in the universe? And you could hear, and I managed to work it out that it come out of my microphone because he's over in Ohio, obviously I'm in the UK, and you hear, I thought it says you know. It's either I know, you know, or they know, but it sounds like they go, you know, like a whisper, and it's just that's.
Wow.
That creeped me out. It creeped me out even more that I knew it come from my side, and that is, yeah. So that we've had a few what looked like orbs. It could have been dust or bugs flying about, because I used to have a screen up behind me that was black, and now and again you'd have an orb come past, but the windows would be shut, the fan wasn't on, so where this coming from, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. Trish is asking, can Katherine tell if my man ever visits me and how, and if so, how will I know it was her?
Ma'am,
Ma'am.
not man. She's
Ma'am.
Geordie, so we're saying
Sorry,
ma'am.
it's hard to read. It's hard to read sometimes. A really small screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Trish, she does it rarely though. And sometimes when your mum visits, you can smell her perfume, or like I'm smelling flowers. I can smell flowers with her. So it could be her perfume that could be a flowery smell, or flowers like, I don't know, but I'm picking up jasmine, I'm picking up like sweet flowers, if that makes sense. That's when you'll know your mum's visiting you.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, she'll be happy to know that because obviously she's been wanting to speak to her mum for a long time now. So what I'll do is I'll put her through her paces and try give her some exercises to try and pick up on spirit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious, since we have everybody on right now, what is the one moment like you being either paranormal or your real life that you were like, now I know the afterlife is real, because this experience has undeniably shown me, yes, there is an afterlife.
Oh, I've got a few to share there.
I say I've got a few as well.
Go ahead.
Shall I go first?
You go first. It's your turn now.
So one of the first one I think that, like, I suppose nailed it for me was when the dog was walking up and down the bed, then jumped on the bed after he died. I'm going back, it must have been like 7 or 8 years at least afterwards that this happened. But then that house where I was living, where there's loads of activity, I'd be sat watching TV, and at the peripheral, I'd see somebody. You could just see through the living room door into the hallway. You'd see a lad, probably about 12, 13 years old, denim jeans, white t-shirt, run downstairs, run round into the kitchen. Now, I thought it was my ex's son at the time. I thought it was like going round and hiding in the kitchen. So I thought, right, I'll creep in and scare him before he scares me when no one there.
Oh.
And the only doors out of the house was the front door, which you would see because that was at the bottom of the stairs, and the other door was in the living room because the living room was at the back of the house. So the back door was in the living room going out into the back garden. They were the only two ways out unless he climbed out of the window upstairs, which didn't happen. And then just seeing shadow people, full body apparitions, objects moving. I lay in bed and there's a cardigan hung up outside on the door. Used to have the bedroom door open, and it swung like that, stopped. So it wasn't blowing in the wind. Actually stopped solid, and then slowly went back. And then you heard a voice go, "Don't worry, it's okay." And I'm thinking it's really not okay. And I am pretty worried, and I now won't sleep for the rest of the night. I don't think I did.
Yeah, I would have run.
And because I knew, I'm not going to say who it was, but I knew who the person was because I recognised the voice straight away.
I was going to say, was the more nervous part is the voice or the fact that the cardigan moved and stayed slowly?
It was more that, because the cardigan moved first, it was on a coat hanger, and then it was a voice after. It was more the fact that moved. The voice I could deal with, but yeah, and you put it all together and it's even worse. But I think that was the key moment where I thought, yeah, because I know that person had died. I knew who the person was. And if they're coming back and they're physically moving stuff and you can hear their voice, then there's got to be more than just nothing after this.
Yeah.
Katherine?
Okay. All right. Afterlife. When Mum passed away, well, before she passed away, a couple of days before she passed away, she was seeing. She was at her doorway, because doorways are gateways, right? It's between both worlds. So my mum was seeing all the shadow people, like she would I could hear her in the baby monitor talking to them because she died from cancer. So I had her on the baby monitor so I can hear her because the room was upstairs. So it was August, and August is quite cold. I was in Australia, and Australia is the opposite from what Europe is, right? So August is cold in Australia. So I had the heaters on, and her room was the only room that was cold, guys. You would walk in her room, and you know how you go like that and your breath comes out like cold. That's how her bedroom was, despite the fact that I had two heaters in there. And she would go, and I'll go up there in her room, and I'll be like, "Mum, who you talking to?" And she'll be like, "Tell them to go away, I'm not ready yet." She goes, "Can't you see the shadows? They're waiting for me. I don't know them," she goes to me. "They're not familiar. So tell them to go away. And I'm not ready to go yet." That was happening for about 2 nights. Third night, I went into her bedroom. Everything was nice and warm. And I was sitting on her bed. And she goes, "Don't sit there." I said, "Why?" She goes, "That's your grandpa. You're sitting on your grandpa." And I'm like, "Where?" It's like, where is he? She goes, "You're sitting on him." And I'm like, "Okay, Mum." So I've gone down I could feel things in her room, but, she could actually see them. And then I sat on the couch, and she goes, "Don't sit there. Your uncle's sitting there." And I'm like, she goes, "Can't you see them? Can't you feel them? They're talking to me." Next day, 6 o'clock in the morning, she passed away.
Oh, bless.
They had come to pick her up. And another quick story. I mean, I've got so many to tell you about the afterlife. Another quick was I didn't mourn my dad because I was pregnant to my daughter. I've got 5 kids. So I was pregnant to my daughter, and I wasn't allowed to travel to Australia. I was in Greece. And being 7 months pregnant, they wouldn't risk it going on the aeroplane. So they brought my dad over in his coffin, so he'd be buried back home in his homeland in Greece. So because I was pregnant, everybody was like, "Don't cry, don't mourn him, don't do this. You're going to put your baby in distress." Da, 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 da. So I did say that if I'm going to mourn him, let me be. If I feel that I'm distressing my baby, I will stop. So in other words, I didn't actually mourn him as much as I wanted to. After I had my child, I mourned him. Like one night, I had put a candle right next to his photo and another candle right next to my mum's photo. And I was crying and crying, listening to his songs because he was a singer. So I would listen to his songs and I would be talking to him and saying, "Why did you leave?" And I didn't have time to say goodbye. I was just pouring out my soul. And then all of a sudden, both of the candles, there was a fire and it wasn't like a normal fire. It was like blue. The fire was blue and the candle just went right up. The flame went right up. And this is February, and February in Greece and Europe is cold. So I had everything closed. It wasn't like something was, there was wind coming through to cause that. So I grabbed the candle, I threw it in the sink. The flame was still going. I threw a wet towel. It burnt the towel, and then it just died. I thought I was going to catch on fire. And then all of a sudden, there was a white feather sitting right next to my dad's photo.
Wow.
It was like saying, "Okay, you've mourned me. Don't do this to yourself anymore.
Yeah.
I'm fine."
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's actually a beautiful story because
Yeah.
that to me would be truly undeniable because it's not like you have a white bird flying around in your house that just happened to drop a feather.
No, and it wasn't like a bird feather, guys. It wasn't. It was weird. It was a feather that was like it wasn't a bird's feather. It was like a feather that it was so soft.
An angel feather.
Yeah. I've never seen a feather like that in my life. And it just went boom. I mean, the windows were closed, no birds in the house. And the feather just sat on Dad's photo, It's fun.
How big was the feather?
This small.
Wow.
On the little.
Yeah. It wasn't like it's something that blew in through the windows because all balconies at 2:00 in the morning were closed. It was 2:00 in the morning. Everybody was sleeping in the house. And I was the only one, pouring my soul out to listen to his music, to his songs, and pouring my soul out. And then, the candle just went. The flame was like blue, like I've never seen a blue like that. And it was like a sign of, stop. I'm fine.
Yeah, kind of sounds like a cherub because they had the smaller wings.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's Dad's. Yeah, I've got quite a few, but it'll take
Forever.
No, I'm sure we all have quite a few.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I say it'll take it's like another show.
Yeah.
Most of mine end with me like falling over. So, moral of the story: don't run away.
Yeah, and Andy, you were saying you need to check out. Is that?
I've got probably about 5 more minutes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted
right?
to acknowledge I saw the message, and so didn't want to ignore it.
No, it's only because I've got to get stuff ready for work tomorrow and what have you, with it being Sunday, the start of the school nights.
Oh, yeah, the school nights.
Yeah. So I'm doing 4 days this week, so it's not too bad. Off Friday. So it's all good.
All right. And how aptly timed Matt's comment.
Yeah. Well, when Cal came on mine, it was like every story ended in
Yeah.
Cal.
I'm just one of these really clumsy people. What more can I say?
Yeah.
I just want the record to show on this episode, it wasn't me, it was the fiance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy, didn't you call that episode Paranormal Face Plan?
Yeah, something like that. I couldn't resist.
That was hilarious.
I never know what I'm going to call the episode until I've spoke with the guest, and then I
Yeah.
can work out what it's going to be about. So, obviously, you've got to give it a title first, and the title is usually the name of the guest, and then I work it afterwards. So, yeah, that was a good one.
All right, Kel.
Yeah.
You have one?
Oh God, I've got that many. When me doorbell wouldn't stop ringing at 3:15 in the morning till for about an hour and a half, and it was ringing in successions of threes. This was up in the haunted house I lived in up in Northumberland. It's like a 300-year-old converted barn, and that place I've never experienced anything like it up there. So, like I say, I was in the house on my own at the time, and it was ringing constantly, like and ding dong,
Just
ding dong, ding
that's
dong.
a free.
Yeah, that scared the hell out of it.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were saying that there's a village somewhere, and one of the houses, like between the witching hours, they knocks on the door, and every single it being set to free. So then be left for like 20 seconds, then again, and it's constantly for about an hour.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I did is I thought, right, okay, I'm going to unplug it. I unplugged it, and it was still ringing. So,
yeah,
and I phoned my ex-partner, and I'm like, obviously down the phone saying, what the hell is this going on? And I was like, I've unplugged it and everything, and he was like, I can hear it ringing. I was like, yeah, I've actually unplugged it. What the hell? So that was pretty creepy. So
wow.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, I'd have smashed it up and the house and everything burnt it down.
If I could have, I would have. Trust me. But from then on, I refused to be in the house on my own or a night time. So that's one of the main reasons I moved from there, because I knew I was going to end up splitting up with him. So I didn't want to be like living in that house on my own. It was just too creepy, the amount of things that were seen in there. I had a jewellery box that used to constantly every night open and slam shut. We could hear it on the windowsill. We could hear people walking around the bedroom. You could hear the footsteps walking around. You knew exactly where they were in the room. Yeah, it was just...
I'd be gone.
Yeah, well, me and my daughter once heard a growl come from in between her, and I mean, there was just me and her there at the time, and I tried to convince her it was like a motorbike passing, and we both knew it wasn't. But anyway, I ended up sleeping in her bed that night with her because she was terrified. So,
well, I've told you about the growl I had. I'll just tell you quickly before I've got to go. I was sat in the bedroom in the same house in Milton Keynes, and there's growling coming. So the window opened that way, so it opened horizontally, and it had like the safety latches on it. And I sat on the bed, growling was coming from directly up under the open part of the window. So it was open about 2 inches. And my ex's daughter, she'd come in the bedroom to get stuff ready for school. I'm like, please tell me you can hear that. She started laughing and went, yeah. I went, go and have a look where it is. You stood up, you're near the window. She's like, no, you have a look. That naughty chance. But it was one of the, I don't know, and if I'd have gone over to have a look, whatever that was there would have pulled me free. Because it was about between 12 and 16 foot from the floor outside to the base of the window. I'd say it's near a 12 foot. And yeah, it was a proper growl. It wasn't like, it was what sound. The only thing I could put it down to is a big dog, a really big dog, bigger than an Alsatian. I didn't see it, but the image that I got from the noise it was giving, it was a constant. I can't do the growl, but it was constant. And it was like, and it lasted for at least a minute. It was where we lived. It was across a square of grass outside. All the parking was on the outside.
Mhm.
So you could park at the back of the house or in the residential car park, which was about a 50 yard walk to the nearest one. So it wasn't coming from there. It was coming from under the window, and I wasn't having a look.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be neither.
And I lived in the house for a few years. I had shadow people, full body apparitions walking past me that close I could have stuck my finger in them. UFOs outside felt like they was observing me. The growling, and that was the house where I was doing a sky watch in the back garden and I seen the pterodactyl fly across.
Wow.
Just shouting my name, banging on wall, the cardigan and the voice talking, and found something stuck in my nose. I pulled it out, put it on the table, woke up in the morning, it had gone. I think it was some sort of alien implant. Weird lucid dreams about alien attacks, and I was there, and the bloke in the dream, same bloke every time, but a different scenario, would say to me, "Why? How are you here? How can you see us? You're not supposed to be able to see any of this." And then they'd start running away. But there's all these, like, sort of Star Wars going on in the sky, all these different ships shooting at each other, but in our airspace.
Wow.
And that's just the ones that I can remember.
Before you go, though, Andy, I'm kind of curious because I can see Catherine's face when you said pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Are you picking up anything with the pterodactyl?
It's like he bent. It's like that place can bend time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And show you scenes from other worlds, from other dimensions. Yeah. And it's like you jumped. It's like it was like a Stargate. You were jumping through different dimensions and different timelines.
Right. That's what.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And did you keep that thing that came out of your nose?
No, I put it down on the side of the bed. I had like a white unit like this, and you know when you have a nosebleed, you can smell. Yeah. You can, even when you get blood on your hands, you can smell the blood. Right. I could smell that, but I was that tired. I thought I'll deal with it in the morning because this was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Joe, when you wake up, you know as soon as you go shut your eyes, you're going to go straight back to sleep. But I was literally, my hand was inside my nose. I'm not even joking. I was just pulling out whatever was in there. I could feel it. Yeah. And I just knew I had to get it out then. So I managed to get it out. It was about, I'd say it was about 1 centimetre long and about 3 millimetres thick. And the reason I know this is because I remember looking, because I used to sleep with the curtains open and there's lamps in the croft, so the light would come in. You could see, it's like a little tunnel, you could see through it, and it was like 1 millimetre diameter with a 1 millimetre gap in the middle. It was the gap in the middle was the same as the bit around the edge. And it's just you
were tagged, and you were tagged. You know that. You know you've been experimented upon. You know that. You know that if you do a reception, you will remember everything.
Yes. I had somebody remote view some of the stuff that went on, and I've got the data print out for that. And yeah, some of the details in there.
You've definitely been experimented. You've definitely been tagged and pulled. There was a chip in your nose, and you've got another one somewhere in your body.
I got told that as well.
Okay. And I'm picking it somewhere in your arm on your right side. I'm picking it on your right side, so I'm picking it somewhere in between here. So
that would make sense.
You're being monitored. You know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, how do we get to watch the Andy show?
It's not that exciting. I get up and go to work, I come home, have something to eat, and I go to bed. And that's it.
And that's why lately your dreams have not been as lucid as they used to be. It's like
Yeah.
they're because you've got a very good memory and you do remember your dreams and everything you see. But at the moment, they are trying. It's like they have a computer in front and it's like boom, they're pressing a button and saying, "Yeah, today he's not going to remember anything." So it's like they're playing with you
Yeah.
and they're listening to this conversation anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm kind
Definitely.
of curious, Catherine, because Andy and I both almost around the same time started a special series on disclosing stuff. Is this all tied together?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
Because it isn't just the two of you. There's a third person involved in this as well.
Okay. Do we
he's
know?
They're going to come along.
Right. That kind of makes sense. Is it going to be more towards Michael or towards myself?
I think it's more towards you.
And I think I know where this is going to go.
Mm-hmm. But there's definitely going to be more. Now there's going to be one more coming from your side. And there's definitely going to be more. There's going to be a round table discussion with all that disclosing files of 5 people. It's going to be 5 of you.
Right. Yeah. I actually know who the person is, which is really strange because this was only organised 2 days ago.
A couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I'm seeing the number 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, a couple days ago. Wow.
Initially, it was spoke about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But at the time, it wasn't feasible to do it there and then. But it was the last bit of organising was on, I think it was either Thursday or Friday. So yeah, a couple of days ago.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the number 2. But this is going to go really well, Guy, because a lot of people are going to come out of the shadows and speak about their experiments. You're doing a great thing.
Excellent. Thank you.
Because I've done mine.
Sorry,
I've had mine down.
I was thinking in the back of my mind, are Andy and I both programmees and we were in the same unit possibly, and that's why we're getting along so well and playing off each other with the disclosure?
You're not hybrids, okay? But you've been in the same spaceship where they've done the experiments at the same time.
Wow.
So you know each other.
Right. That
actually makes sense.
Yeah. Michael, quick question. How old are you?
I'm 45.
Right. Okay.
And you are?
I'm 50.
You're my age.
Right. So I'm just... So 70. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got 5 years difference. There's not much difference there.
No, I'm just working out as to what my
time, so we could be in 5 at the same time.
Yeah.
My first encounter, I was around. I'll be between the ages of 3 and 5. So whether that's any relevance to it or not, I don't know.
It is definitely, because when that happened, when your first encounter, you were 4 or 5, and then you've had your at the age of 10 where things were happening, weird things, and then it's the age of 16. Right, and then you were jumping into the age of 28, 30, then between 32 and 35, there was a gap, and then things started getting intense at the age of 47, 48.
Oh, was you there? That is like literally a diary of what went on. As you're saying them ages, obviously I know what year they are because they're very significant parts of what was happening in my life at that time.
Yep.
Yeah, Katherine definitely is amazing.
I'm glad I'm sat down. Funny that way. Wow.
I'm glad I had you both on at the same time because I was like, this was really the experiment. Was this last part that I was like, I didn't know how to jump into it.
Right.
I always love talking about that thing because I've had experience like that as well. I've seen reptilians, I've seen greys, I've had something poke me right there and there was a light. This is another story we can talk about another time. So yeah, I love talking about things like that.
Wow. I'm
So
just
yeah,
blown up. I really am. To
definitely,
get them,
you guys are connected.
yeah, but to get them timelines
Yeah,
is like each year that you gave, something really big happened in the paranormal realm.
yeah. There you go. It's like a little bell ringing, going ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, yeah. And there was a big gap of nothing for
Yeah.
quite a few years. Yeah,
Wow, that's
Same for
amazing.
me. It's like
yeah.
I would be seeing a lot of stuff, and then it would be like nothing, and then it would pick back up again.
Can I just tell you quickly about the one that when I was 16?
Yeah, the 16 was massive. It was big.
Oh, I levitated before falling off a bridge and not dying, believe it or not.
There you
And
go.
that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, see, you know how they say that somebody always guards us and looks out for us for nothing to happen? They don't allow something to happen to us.
No. I was literally, I'll keep it short as I can. I was stood at the side of a bridge. It was just like end of school or school holidays or whatever. Was out in like this, it's actually called Knob End. It's a real place. A place in Bolton in Greater Manchester. That's the name, and that's what it says. Look it up. I'm not making up. It's part of Moses.
I've heard of it.
Park in Bolton. So we're all out, and there's a bridge, Wilson Bridge, that goes across. So we've gone across, and we're waiting for some of the others. They was crossing the river further down. So I'm stood onto a metal bar, and there's like a big concrete block with access to the drain because there's a sewer pipe that runs under the bridge. I suppose they use it as part of the support. So I'm stood on there, step back, talking to my mate, stay at the top of the hill, step back again, still talking to him. For some reason, I look down, I'm not stood on anything. And I've been stood like that for at least 5 seconds. And it's like you see in the cartoon, as soon as you realise there's nothing underneath them, they drop.
Yeah.
I dropped down, I think it's about no more than 8 foot. But I've dropped down 8 foot, I've hit these rocks, and I've rolled down to the bottom. I could feel myself hitting rocks with my legs and my head and and I thought, I'll get to the bottom here, I'm going to be dead. I'm not even going to know what's happened. Anyway, the last one I remember smacking the side of my head on this massive, it was a massive rock. I smacked my head on that, and then I must have blacked out. I woke up at the bottom. I was a foot away from going into the river. My mate thought I was dead. He said you was out cold for at least 2 minutes. I then sat up, got up, started laughing, and started walking up to him. And he couldn't believe. He thought he didn't know what was going on. He honestly thought I was dead. And I was like, he goes, "You all right?" I went, "Yeah, I'm fine." I goes, "No, I would let go of that," and I fell down, rolled down. He went, "You hit every single rock on the way down. We thought there was going to be nothing left of you by the time you got to the bottom. There's nothing any of us could do." A little tiny cut on my elbow. Nothing, no bruises, no cuts, no breaks, nothing.
Wow.
About 2 centimetre cut on me, just there, forearm, below my elbow. And that was it.
So before anybody answers that, unfortunately, I have to do a little housekeeping because we're at the 2-hour mark. That for those of you on the radio station, thank you for joining us on this 2-hour episode of the marathon. Stay tuned because Beyond the Strange is coming up next, and you do not want to miss that episode. And after that will be a fun trivia game. So stay tuned and keep enjoying the marathon, and we will catch you all on another time. Okay, we can keep going now. I just had to turn off the radio.
Yeah, it's right. Right, I am going to have to go because I could push it at the 2 hours, but I'll leave you all with that thought, and you can let me know what you think of that. But thank you so much for having me on, and thank you,
No
Catherine.
problem.
My pleasure.
Thank
It's
you.
been brilliant having you on.
Yep, and I'll see you guys at some point soon.
Take care of yourself, Andy.
All right, you
Look
too.
forward
Speak
to
to
it.
you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And
Wow.
there was 3.
And there was 3. That was intense.
It's kind of funny because I've been watching the chat room because with the topics that we were just on, And
I know.
JoJo is talking with someone about, I don't think I've been taken, and now she's asking, have I been taken?
No, I don't think JoJo has been taken.
Yeah. Matt seems to think that we're sort of connected. We share the same birthdays. We've got so much that's like common.
Yeah.
There's been people saying that we look like brother and sister in certain
Yeah.
photographs and stuff like that, which is like, I don't want to think about that. But yeah. So, but the night I was conceived, Michael, you probably already know this story, don't you? Apparently, mum and dad had missing time, and they actually seen the UFO
Yes.
along with, I think there was about 37 people in a pub that came out to see it as well. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so my brother's for many, many years called as an alien. So.
Oh, shit.
Well,
No,
that's what that's for.
No, it was a good conversation. It was
Yeah.
great. I actually enjoyed our conversation tonight a lot. I always do every time we get on, but tonight was like,
Yeah, it's always brilliant. Mm-hmm.
it is.
Yeah. But Michael, you got any questions for Katherine at all?
Right now, the only thing in my head was thinking, how cool is that to end the show with that? And then everybody is going, wait, what happened next? And it's like, sorry, off the air we go.
Exactly. We gotta do another one at one point.
We do. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was.
A question I have though would be is, I've wondered, is it because of my being programmed, going through those programs, that I don't experience loss anymore like normal people do? Like, I have a hard time shedding tears over loss, and it's like I tell myself, oh, it's because I'm metaphysical and I know, I can talk to him on the other side and still see him, and so that's why I don't cry. But I'm wondering, is it partly because of the programming that they shut off that emotion?
No, they don't actually shut off that emotion. It's actually us shutting it off. People that are in the paranormal, because we experience the other side. We know what's on the other side. We know that they're there, and we know to respect the dead and not to bother them. And like, because when you mourn them, you keep them subconsciously. People that are involved in the paranormal know that when you mourn somebody, you actually tie them down to earth. We earthbound them.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because I was thinking, because the way they fractured me, if that was why.
No, because there's going to be there's going to be a point where you're going to, because it's only 4 months, right? Dad's been gone for 4 months. It's still early. You still haven't processed it. So there will be a breakout. There will be.
Okay.
Don't forget that you are trying to stay strong for mum. You're taking the role of the man in the house. So you're trying to protect mum. So if mum sees you breaking down, she will break down. So that's all subconsciously at the moment. That's why you haven't broken down.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because I was a little worried that the programming, I got to undo programming.
No, they don't touch our emotions. They experiment on our emotions. They want to see our emotions. So they won't touch those.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like they're playing little gods. They do.
Yeah. And it is funny in the world today. It's like, I laughingly say to people, the first whistleblower in history was William Shakespeare. And because he famously said, all the world's a stage and we're merely the actors or players. And it's like, that's literally what we are right now, as we're all on a stage watching a movie.
Exactly. And that movie's us.
Yep.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
That's okay, Andy.
Yeah, that's all right, Andy. We understand.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go shortly anyway because my back is absolutely killing this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's And it's what my time here. It's 12 o'clock.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
late. Yeah.
And
So, again, Catherine, I'm so glad that you could come on. It's always been absolutely fantastic when we get you on. It's so interesting.
I love it. I love you guys, and thank you very much. And I always have a great time. Time just goes like flies.
Yeah, definitely
It does.
Well, hopefully we'll be getting together anyway soon.
Yes, most definitely.
The three of you, anyway, me, you, and Michael.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That's a promise.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad.
Well, I hope you make it over, mister.
I am doing everything in my power right now to make that happen.
You got to get a passport. Do you have a passport?
I do have a passport.
Good.
So I just have to come up with a couple of little things, and once I get those squared away, it'll be kosher, and here I come.
Good. It'll be good. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But
we were gonna plug Andy real quick. He says next Wednesday I'm doing a show on my own about some of my encounters. I can go into detail on what I spoke about tonight if anyone's interested.
That'll definitely
So there you go.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
What's going on with your back, Missy?
My back. Oh,
Yeah.
I was a bouncer for 20 years, so I was about 7, going on 8 years ago. I was dragging 2 big guys that were on the floor fighting, and I slipped 2 discs, and I had ended up being in a wheelchair for 2 years. And then I had an operation that went wrong, and I was told I'd probably never walk again, but I'm too stubborn for that, so I had to prove them wrong. So I still get a lot of pain. So yeah, I ended up with a condition called Coda-Aquina syndrome as well. So, and they didn't diagnose it for a long time. That's meant to be operated within 48 hours.
Shit.
They didn't find it for about 2 years. So, yeah.
So are they thinking about doing another operation? What are they saying about the pain?
No, there's nothing they can do now. I'm on painkillers. That's as much as I can do now. So
yeah,
I just got to put up with it. So. Sometimes it's worse than others, but I just, like I say, I'm pretty tough when it comes to pain. But like it's just sitting's what hurts most.
Yeah, that's the worst. I believe. Okay, boys and girls, will you go lie down?
Okay. So anyway, thank you everybody for who's been watching and commenting and joined in and everything else like that. Thanks to Andy, Catherine, and thanks to Michael as well. And it's been an amazing show. Who we got on next? When's the next show, Michael?
Actually, our next show is this Thursday with Matt Barron.
All right, okay. Another show. Oh, damn.
I know.
Oh God, I can't take anymore. No, yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So. Yeah, so we'll see everybody on Thursday with the next show, and hopefully we can get Andy and Catherine on again soon. So stay tuned, and I'll let Michael close it out.
All right. So have a good one, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us at Paranormal Versus. Hope to see you on our next episode.